little stud.
I know.
I look forward to watching him in Havasu this year. The racing this weekend has been fantastic, and I really, really enjoyed the junior classes this morning. Off the line now is our X2 Army. This is race 3, X2 Army Expert.
Wow. Steve Gerling was shot out of a cannon. Look at that. And I'm not telling you he jumped the line, not at all, but he was like a rocket out there. That thing just kept pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. Gerling out in front in the inside section of the split course. Who we got on the outside? You're right, Jesse Wilson on that 330. Good eye.
That's my problem.
Oh, Wilson misses a buoy. Oh, he's going to have to take the walk of shame.
We'll
so it's Gerling, Wilson, Doug Wolf coming up behind him. Who is that? That is the General, John Dewar.
Now, watch on the far right-hand side of the course. That buoy that was missed on the outside split, if the rider realizes that he truly missed that and knows that we caught it, he needs to go far right all the way around at race speed around that black buoy to make up the missed buoy. And he is going to go take that missed buoy like a pro.
Takes it now, wide open. Nice turn.
Now he's got some ground to make up. That's what happens when you miss a buoy.
But look at this. He only went back one position. He's still in third place at the beginning of this race. It's not going to hurt him that badly. Jesse Wilson, I'll tell you what, this kid is one of the up-and-coming new riders.
Yeah.
Both the Wilson brothers, just vicious on a watercraft. I hear they're pretty good on a motocross bike and perhaps even a snowmobile as well. But I've only seen them on the water, and check it out. We have got side-by-side action coming right at us in the slalom portion of this course as they headed back to the shore. Gerling on the outside. Wolf on the inside, and Wolf is going to make a move. He won't be here, but he is going to be close. Look how close it is after only one lap, Lisa. Whoa, dignitaries on the beach. Eric, I won't hit your helmet. Hewitt sitting down here with us. Eric, what was going through your mind when you saw Chris Wadier take a water face plant in front of you?
Oh, crap, I'm already tired.
Wow, and that was like 6 buoys into the first race. Dude, good job out there.
Thank you, yeah. I mean, it was a good race, and, yeah, Chris had a good hole shot and just caught his high side, and kind of, it was a little nerve-wracking there when he fell in front, didn't know if he was on the boat or not, and then me, Pete, and Ian battled through that whole thing, and at the end, Ian came out and got it.
Isn't that crazy? Well, I'll tell you what. You are the recipient of the Leland Insurance $100 Safest Rider of the Day Award, as bestowed by Jedra Lambert.
Jedra Lambert. That's Nedra Atwood's stepsister, right?
No, it's Jim Lambert with Nedra's hat on. And if I had a cowbell, I would super glue it to him right now. I'm telling you.
Fantastic job, though. Cat-like reaction out there on the water. I don't know. Where'd you learn how to ride like that?
Just riding out here every weekend with those same guys.
I know exactly where you learned how to ride like that. The in and outs with you and Ian Roberts when you guys were growing up together.
Just anticipating the rider in front of you.
Fantastic, fantastic. So great job, Eric. As again,
thank you.
You always make me proud, and excellent job there. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Are there any sponsors early in your career you'd like to thank?
Mom, Dad, and Ski Clinic.
And no one else? Thanks
Anybody else sitting next to you?
Lisa Price. She sponsored me for quite a few years, and now she doesn't have a boat to sponsor me on. Come on, Lisa, time to buy one.
Well, you know, all I can do is sit on the microphone and give you some airtime. So, no, you phenomenal. I recognize your talent right off the bat, and I got to say we've had a lot of really talented kids come through Region 2. And it's, you know, what do they say about those who
I'm sorry, Lisa. The racing out here is crazy. Doug Wolf, side by side next to Steve Gerling, the current world champion X2 in the X2 class. And these two are going at it. And Wolf has made his move. Wolf on the inside section of the course, dipping his shoulder and his elbows in. Here comes Gerling at speed. Here comes Wolf. Wolf is going to have position. Gerling's going to have speed. Checker flag out, and Wolf wins it.
Oh, boy, that was
How crazy is that?
Holy moly.
I'm telling you, and this is only the first of 3 motos that these guys are going to be battling
was some
today.
Exciting racing.
My apologies for jumping in the middle of that, but I am
Not
telling
at all.
you,
Don't even worry about
the
it.
adrenaline is pumping through my veins. Now, unfortunately, we're seeing Jesse Wilson going straight into the pits. There's an issue with that boat. Remember, he had it towed in at practice, man. He was ripping, so I hope they can get Wilson's boat put back together, man. He was right there.
And clearly, Doug Wolf, very, very excited, coming down. Give him a big round of applause, folks. That's some of the closest racing, and we've seen some great racing this weekend. Doug Carty Wolf really pulling off an excellent win there, probably by 0.3 of a second. I mean, almost a photo finish.
I'm going with hundredths of a second.
Can you?
You can too, with the Old Spice champion.
They're ready. That means that race number 5, our X2 Army novices, should be on their boats with their helmets ready to go, standing next to the start line. That is what staging is. So once again, if you are in race number 5, X2 Army novice, and your name is, for instance, Ryan Gray, Don Miller, Darren Wolf, Mike Hackler, Sterling Holden, Brian Toline, Greg Summers, or Eddie Clavel, you should be down there, and they are off. Race number 4 is on the water. Strong drives out here in that 800 novice stand. Jody Evans trying to, oh, look at the passes going on out there. Headed to the far outside. You know, I don't know. That might be Eric Stegman out there. It could be Dan Nolden on the far outside. Smooth moves. And check it on the inside. I think that's Chuck Evans. It is Chuck Evans on the inside, going to get the whole shot. In second, Dan Nolden, different class, followed by the 317, the 174 of Will Dewar. Oh, and Jody Evans all the way at the back. Boy, if she's going to put
That's
a
okay.
smack down, she'd better get it on right now.
She's just giving him, she's letting him go out, run out a little bit so she can reel him in. She's toying with him like a cat, so.
Yeah, we could tell that.
I'll tell you what, the breeze has kicked up here at Camp Far West, and while the weather is still absolutely gorgeous, we've got big, huge cotton ball, puffy clouds in the sky, and it's nice, probably what, about 82 degrees. Perfect race conditions, but we've got just enough of a breeze to kick up a little chop and make it even that more interesting out on the water. Got our rider, lead rider working their way through the inside chicane right now with the split.
That's Chuck the Nailman Evans. And for the longest time, well, for about 15 minutes, I heard that and I thought they were saying Chuck the Mailman. He is a male, however, he does nails, and that's why he's called Chuck the Nailman.
You were saying Nailman. Boy, that is unusual because I got to say,
I know.
You could smell the test. Well, not smell. He's a very masculine guy. I would not expect to see him in a nail salon.
You wouldn't imagine smelling him in a nail salon. Is that what you just said?
No.
It's a little confusing, but
he and his
it's a
wife
girl
greeted
thing,
me
I
Friday
guess.
night. They were the first two to greet me, and actually it was my first time meeting the two of them. Really nice people. It was a great welcome back to Region 2.
Yeah, isn't it wonderful? I'm telling you, and we keep
I don't wanna
producing
go
more
home.
and more and more.
I've got a little over an hour with you folks before I have to take off for the airport, and I don't want to go. Who wants to go back to work for me?
Yeah.
Anybody with technical project management experience? I know.
Yeah.
I should probably keep an eye on the road, but once
There'll
I get
be
to the
enough time.
airport,
You'll see
you
it.
guys will be dialed up on, what's your URL again? DJSARacing.com. I will be dialing it up on my iPad and watching up the final races and motos today from the airport. Hope you folks out there on the interwebs are enjoying yourself. We have any questions from any of the folks there watching? How many viewers do we have right now? Wow, we've got about 200. That's great. Fantastic coverage for the races.
So here's my thought. Why don't you take a break, grab your iPod, or iPad, excuse me, bring it over. We'll hook it up to the web here, put it on, make it a favorite. So when you get to the airport, you can click right on.
Well, I
be ready to go.
would, except that I've already done that because I watch on a regular basis from Southern California.
You are a Ustream home.
No, I love it. It's great. Thanks so much, Maverick, for doing this.
How wild is it? And look at these, like 5 cameras going on at once now. Ridiculous. Redonkulous.
It's redonkulous.
Legend. Here he comes, Derry. All right, well, let's just check it out, see what's going on out there. Chuck Evans out of Sparks, Nevada. Man, I'll tell you what, he hit the afterburners.
Out. He is checked out.
He is gone. And then another older, the only legend who's racing today, and it's too bad. The Legends class was really fun a couple of years ago. Dan Nolden.
Oh, listen to him. You hear woo-hoo-hoo.
He says white flag out there.
Finish line.
Yeah, well, I know. I didn't want to tell you this, but Chuck this morning came by and said, he had heard you say that Jody's going to put a spanking on him. Well, apparently they had a little
Spank Fest last night?
Well, no. I mean, we say that. No, but apparently there is a bet, and there is a physical
payout.
Payout. There you go.
Payout.
So we'll see what happens here. But right now, Chuck's an excited
we can
man.
Talk about on the moniker?
I think we already have.
I'll tell
Jody,
you what,
haven't you see her putting her head back on? Oh,
yeah,
he's going to make me do that, isn't he?
No, you know what? She's still charging hard, though, on all that last lap. I remember when I raced ski class. I'm never so glad to see a checkered flag in my entire life.
Frankly, were it I'd be just like, let this one, I'll pull into shore, save my energy, and spank him the next 2 motos.
There you go.
All right, on the line,
right.
Race number 5. Race 5, X2 Army Novices. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 riders. How many we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sweet! So saith Sterling Holden. Chuck, you hear him just hooting and hollering as he comes across the line. He knows what he's getting besides a trophy.
I guess that means that she gets to clean the skis up at the end of the day, right? She's the one stuck with it. Kurt Nollenberg, be nice.
Chuck Evans.
Nice job. Put your hands
good
together
ride.
for Chuck Evans, the winner of our
Will do her. Another good ride. Boy.
Still driving hard. You see the number 3 ski coming across the start-finish line. Photo finish with the 3:17, and Jody finishes her final lap. Great effort put forth by everybody. Do we have anybody on site? I know this is going to be kind of an unusual request, but we need a bag of rice. And does anybody, first person that can tell me why we would need a bag of rice on a race site wins a hug from Kurt Nollenberg. No, we've got
Maybe
a phone.
Chuck Evans would be willing to transfer his winnings.
No, we've got a phone that was dropped in the water, and if anybody has some rice, dry rice with you, it would be awesome to help us out. So we've got a phone that is not dead. See Robbie Hall bringing in one of the buoys that we've lost out on the course. So we're going to take a quick pause so they can replace that. Team Orange getting down and getting the job done. All right, you're looking at race 5 on the line. They're going to be firing them up here in just a second as soon as we get this buoy taken care of. But down on line right now, we're looking at Ryan Gray out of Los Gatos, California. Ryan's on the 21 boat, and he's sponsored by Tsunami Jet Ski, Fluid Film, Stage 8 Fasteners, and 550. Lining up next to him, you're going to hear him spark up here in just a second, is the 29 boat of Don Miller out of Sparks, Nevada. And then, of course, we have Darren Wolf, the other white meat from Modesto, California. Darren is on the 33 boat, and he is sponsored by the Ski Clinic, HydroTurf, Modesto Battery, DK Designs, and Cardi's Wallet. Nothing like reaching into your own brother's wallet for race entry fees. Also on the line, good God, I think he's running at least three classes this weekend, is Mike Hackler on the 57 boat out of Gardnerville, Nevada. Mr. Hackler is sponsored by Commander Industries, CrossFit of Carson Valley, and Maxima. Rounding out the field is going to be Sterling Holden on the 99 boat. He is out of El Dorado Hills, California, and he's sponsored by Lucky's Barbershop, the Men's Club. Lucky's Barbershop and Men's Club, Hamilton Woodworking, Eric Burton, Chris Cuevas, and Chris Made It, and Mom and Dad, as well as Lucky's Barbershop and Men's Club again. We also have Brian Toline on the 137 boat out of Fair Oaks, California, and Greg Summers on the 216E boat out of Elk Grove, California. Rounding out the field, coming out of Marysville, California, is Eddie Clavel on the 302 boat. And as you see them working their way through the split here, just making the very first turn with a nice leg drag, that is going to be the 44 boat. Is that a 44? Gonna have to get an ID on that boat. It did look like a 44. We actually have a nice battle going on for third place, but it sounds like perhaps one of those skis is fixing to go down, and it's not sounding real healthy. Really glad to see our race number 6 Sports Sit 1200 GP and Sports Sit 800 Novice, being the pros that they are, they're coming down to staging. So we're going to be looking for Michael McFarland, Doug Wolf, Jason Ward, John Arlick, Norm Yee, Donnie Miller, Mike Hackler, and Thomas Pagan. And I do know that since Hackler is in the current race on water, we're probably going to need just a second in between to trade boats and give him a little bit of a breather, but he's in good shape. He can go back to back. So watching this race is the leader now, just beginning the entry into the outside split, making his way through the chicane. Making the turn. And that is the 99 boat, not the 44 boat, but the 99 boat of Sterling Holden out of El Dorado Hills, California. Sterling's got one of those really cool soap opera names. I do see that we are in desperate need of holders. If you can grab a helmet and a PFD, we need holders to the line now. Please step up to the plate and come on down and help with holding. Currently on the water is our Novice X2 Army class. Good size field with 8 racers. And I'll tell you what, we've got some clearly some aftermarket work done to these 800s that are working their way down to the starting line for staging of our next race. And it's hard to even hear yourself think. These boats have got some serious motor work done to them. It'll be interesting to see what they're doing out there on the water in just about 5 minutes. In the meantime, we're looking at our X2 Army on race 5. This is the first moto of 3 motos that'll be run today. DJSA, they do things in a unique manner. They run their first moto, and then they run through the entire class of riders, and the second and third moto are run back to back, which is a real challenge for a racer, because as soon as you finish your race, you're coming right back to the starting line, you're lining up, and the band snaps again. So I'll tell you what, that is a test of true endurance. I like it because it you know, if the field has spread out or somebody maybe took a water sample, it evens the playing field and gives you another opportunity to score some extra points. But coming across the start-finish line right now is the 33 boat of Darren Wolf out of Modesto, California. Darren is an ex-professional BMX racer, and so it looks like perhaps his training and physical conditioning has really started to pay off out there. This is his inaugural year of racing, as you watch him make his way around the far right side of the course. Pretty darn smooth rider, and I'll tell you what, his brother Doug Wolf, one heck of an X2 racer, so I would imagine that the training sessions that these two clowns have in their own spare time are pretty interesting. Looking forward to seeing both of them on the line at World Finals this year. We are on our final lap of the race, and quite honestly, our race leader is probably a good 6 to 7 seconds in front of second place. Working his way through the chicane on the outside right now is a 99 boat of Sterling Holden. Again, Sterling hailing from El Dorado Hills, California. Put your hands together, folks, for our winner of Moto 1, Race 5. That's Sterling Holden out of El Dorado Hills, California. Again, I do need holders to the line. Holders to the line. We have our next race, 6 Sports Sit 1200 GP and Sports Sit 800 Novice. We need holders to the line. Fantastic job by Sterling Holden. In third place, we've got Darren Wolf from Modesto, California, and I'm going to have to get the number on the, see, that is the 216E, Greg Summers out of Elk Grove, California, coming in second place in race 5. That is our X2 Army Novice top 3 finishers. Now online and getting ready to shoot off the line like a rocket. We're looking at race 6. This is going to be a blended class, and it's our Sports Sit 1200 GP. The number 1 boat of Michael McFarland out of Elk Grove, California. Michael is sponsored by one of my very best friends in the industry, Michelle Thompson and the Thompson Stewart family over at Scat Track Performance Products. You want to make your boat go fast and handle well, you need to get a hold of Glenn Perry at Scat Track, and Glenn and Michelle will get you hooked up with the best, the very best pumps and impellers, and they even make some really killer steering cables and throttle cables. They make really great heavy-duty aftermarket steering and throttle cables. So give them a call. They're out in Yucaipa, California, and they'll get you hooked up. On the 33 boats, going back-to-back with different riders, this is going to be Doug Wolf on the 33 boat out of Modesto, California. Doug, we call him Cardi, is sponsored by the Ski Clinic. We need holders to the line. Please get holders down to the line now. Mr. Wolf is sponsored by the Ski Clinic, M&M Marine, DK1 Designs, Scat Track, HydroTurf, Modesto Battery, Hurricane Industries, His Wallet, and Team Wilson Racing. Thank you so much, folks, for coming down to help with holding. We'll get everybody lined up here in just a second. On that 114 boat out of San Leandro, California, sponsored by DRC Racing Fuels, Clampett Racing, his own unique racing team of Home Team Racing, Mike Boyeski, Tuner's Den, Ripsnake Racing, Slam and Sammy Peterson, and Chad Campbell. You're looking at the 114 boat of Jason Ward. Jack Arlick, hailing from San Jose, California, is out there on the 116 boat. And rounding out the field for the Sports Sit GP 1200 class, you're looking at Norm Yee on the 951 out of Sacramento, California. Norm is sponsored by Optima Racing, GoPro, Impros, Redline Oil, and Greg Barnhart Photography. In the Sport Sit 800 novice class, on the 81 boat out of Sparks, Nevada, is Donnie Miller. And Donnie likes to thank his parents, Mom and Dad, for their support in the sponsorship program. In the number 2 position for Sport Sit 800 novice is the 101 boat of Mike Hackler out of Gardnerville, Nevada. Mike is sponsored by our friends over at Commander Industries, CrossFit Carson Valley, and Maxima. And finalizing our list today is Mike Hackler's brother-in-law, Thomas Page, in on the 201 boat, also out of Gardnerville, Nevada. Tom, also an illustrious member of the very, very talented Commander Industries race team, the family, Testa Motorsports, and Michael's Cycle Works. Hey, Kurt, you made it back. How was your bio break?
I did. Yeah, we had a little bit of an electronic
okay?
issue over there. And we see Jason Ward having a little issue there. Jason, want to remind you, you can remove and put back that Sea-Doo key. Occasionally will help in starting those things.
Pretty sure he knows what's up, Kurt. And right, what's that? Is that a one-finger salute? Oh.
What do you mean Lisa Price is number 1 with you?
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
I'm used to, when we have a situation like this under certain other sanctioning bodies' rule book, they've got 2 minutes. They've got a 2-minute hold where they are allowed to work on their ski, and if they're able to get it running during that time, then we'll spark the race back up. If they don't make it, then the race starts without them, and they either make it or they don't. What's the deal here?
Within a couple of minutes, you know, everybody wants to see everybody else get the race. You know,
That's true.
We're very competitive, but yet, even being as competitive as we are, still nobody wants to win by, you know, a technicality or, oh gosh, he didn't get it started 6 seconds soon enough. It's about, let's see if we can let him get on the line and race. You know,
well, I see
whoever that is, just like everybody else, they travel a long way. They've invested time and effort to get here. And sometimes little gremlins come up. And we want to give them, you know, a few minutes to make it work.
I see Jason and his team down there. They're working frantically on the ski, trying to check the electrical connection. It looks like they're back in the back there by the electrical box.
Somebody over there tell us, do we need a jump start?
Yeah.
Okay, has anybody got the jumper right here?
We need a jumper box.
If anybody's got a jump box, you know, with a couple of, you know what? Just me.
Kurt's going to go down there with 2 D-cell batteries and lick both of them. Nah, he's running. He literally is running to go get a jumper box right now. How's that for service, folks? We got our chief announcer running to start a rider's boat. I guess we could call AAA, but I hear their response time is about an hour and a half out here, so we'll just let Kurt run. Plus, I want to see Kurt run anyway. I hear he runs like a girl, so... For those of you that aren't here at Camp Far West, you may hear in the background, we've got one of our standard operating procedures going on at Camp Far West on a hot summer day. We've got some fast boats out here. In fact, when we normally come out to ride and do a little recreational enjoyment, there is a cove located just directly across from us that's called Quarter Mile Cove. And I can't tell you how many weekends we've spent there at dusk when the local sheriff's department actually comes out and does an impromptu race. They will sort of police the area and they allow racing. So they'll have boat drags over there, and it's quite entertaining. If you ever get a chance to come up here to Camp Far West, it is a beautiful lake, very cost-effective, really family-friendly. It's super personal watercraft friendly, which is unusual, unfortunately, at a lot of the locations. So looks like now we've got...
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice Body Spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do.
Now, so down online again, this is our Sports Sit 1200 GP class combined with our Sports Sit 800 novice class. They have racked them They're sparked up and ready to go. Mike Hackler with his signature Superman start. And there, coming late off the line, is the 116 boat, I think, of Jack Arlick. I'm not sure, but I believe that's a blaster. Working their way through the split in almost a mirror-like fashion. We really have got no surprise whatsoever. That is the 911 of Norm Yee coming across the start-finish first, taking the whole shot. And boy, I'll tell you what, poor Norm. I shouldn't say poor Norm. Norm has been towed in. He's been on the end of the hook more often than not this weekend, but he's finishing most of his races, and he's making it to the line for all of his races. He is riding like a man possessed out there this weekend. Nice, clean, sweeping action. Beginning to work his way across the right-hand side of the course. Headed out towards the back straightaway, making that left. But I'll tell you what, he may have some company here in just about a minute and a half, because we've got a really fast boat coming up on him. I'll spot the number here in just a second. Again, a call for assistance. If anybody has dry rice or dry beans, anything that we can use as a desiccant for a cell phone that was dropped in the water, if you could please bring that to the announcer's tower, we would certainly appreciate it. Wow, these Open 800 boats, they are screaming, making some serious horsepower and a lot of noise while they're at it. I see Derek Chemnitz walking down the beach here. Hey, Derek, are you guys going to be doing any more exhibition freestyle today, or are you done for the day? Stick a fork in you, you're done. Well, thank you so much. You guys were fantastic out there this weekend. I really enjoyed watching you. Got a pretty good turnout here online watching the races at DJSA.com. Maverick, DJSARacing.com. I'm so sorry, DJSARacing.com. How many viewers do we have on our internet feed right now? Oh, everybody's out to lunch right now. They're taking a nap. But we've had about 200 viewers today, and probably the same, if not more, yesterday. I know we've got a few. We've got the national tour stop going on back east. We've got the Impros BBSD, which stands for Blythe Bound Smackdown, going on this weekend. So I know they've got a good-sized crew out there. That was a 9th year running that Dave Stewart and Garrett Costello and Russ Embry have put that event on. It's always a lot of fun. So if you're ever not able to make it up here, of course you can go down there and join their party. But we have a great turnout here in Camp Far West Lake here in Northern California. Camp Far West is located about 45 miles northeast of Sacramento, California. So if you ever decide you want to come out and join the DJSARacing.com crew, be more than welcome. This is one of the beautiful venues that Jim lines up for his crew. He works really hard, and I think a lot of people outside of Region 2 probably don't know, but Jim Lambert is actually what we call a water cop, and he has worked in the Delta and on the water in Northern California for many years, and through his fantastic connections and great working relationships with the various venues all over Northern California, he's been able to consistently secure some of the most amazing race sites. I know they've been doing night racing over at Mostel Marina. Maverick, can you tell me, I was not able to make the night racing, and I think it would probably be I know we've done night racing in Benicia before. What was the setup like? I mean, could you see pretty well, or what's the deal with that? Can you explain that to me?
Well, night racing is totally different. Coming out at 60 miles an hour, almost pitch dark with just the floodlights from Jim's rented lights out there on the lake. It was just surreal. I think we've only done it a few times out here in Northern California.
Right. Actually, it's very, very rare. I would love to see more night racing. I've done it before myself in Benicia. Now, did you guys use glow sticks on the boats and the riders, or you just had the course well lit?
Actually, it's some glow sticks. Some other people were creative and started putting floodlights on their ski, and we're just having fun out there. When you get off to the far side of the course, it turns to go real dark, so we had to take off our goggles there up the far side.
Yeah, which is interesting because you're basically we referred to it as driving into the abyss. It is pitch black. You don't have any depth perception. It is a completely different ride, and because you can't see with your goggles, you have to take them off. So, God forbid you got any spray, or if you get into any lap traffic at all, it is a real challenge to see. But coming across the start-finish line right now is the number 1 boat of Michael McFarland out of Elk Grove, California. And I guess I chatted a little bit too long to Maverick because he just realized that it's time to get naked and put his wetsuit on. He is next up. His race is next on the line. I do see a few boats in staging because you guys are true pros. And we've got our, let's see, race 7, which is going to be our combined class of sprint, sit, open, as well as the SCXP expert class. So if you are in race 7, sprint, sit, open, or SCXP expert class, you need to be on the line in staging right now because we are going to spark those bad boys up, and they will be off to the races in about 45 seconds.
Gotta love that. Fastest boats on the water on there right now.
Yeah.
Gotta tell you, Lisa Price, absolutely crazy. Just, did my little run thing there to try and help Jason. Got a battery back there. I was thinking, Derek Chemnitz and I were talking behind the line there, that it used to be about every third race somebody needed a battery to get their boat started.
Right.
And thinking, well, people were running higher compression, just balls to the wall, if you will. Engines that would explode regularly. It was really expensive to keep something going. And I noticed that that's not happening anymore. People aren't putting that kind of ridiculously right on the edge motors.
They're so high maintenance. They're a blast to race, but if you ran a boat that was modded that heavily, you had your race boat and then you had a practice boat.
And you had a second job just to pay for
more
parts.
Than likely a very angry wife with an empty bank account.
Well, but where I was going with that is, there was that level of competition. Well, I took a break. I had to go back to the provided, thank you very much, porta potties back there. By the way, I want to give a personal thank you and shout out to whoever it was that peed on both seats of those. Appreciate that. Nice of you to clean it up.
You went in the double holer?
I had no choice. But while I'm back there, what did I see but a guy standing between two of the go-peds that were given away for prizes. All our junior riders are back there racing on the dirt on the go-peds behind us. That's the good part. Here's the bad part. They didn't learn their DJSA racing. No PFDs, no helmets, no shirts, no shoes.
Ooh.
Oh, waiting for pain to happen. I'm telling you.
Well, and I sure hope they were observing the 5-mile-an-hour speed limit that we have here, because we would not want to lose the privilege of being able to use a pit vehicle to get these skis in and out of the water.
I think they think because they're not quads that the 55-mile-an-hour.
Not true. You know what happened? You remember when go-peds were so big, probably 10, 12 years ago, and we could ride them all over the pits in Havasu?
Oh, yeah.
And then we had people that got a little bit rampant. And
fast stands to the line, please. Fast stands to staging. Fast stands, you're up next. You should be next to the starting line with your boats ready to go right now. Fast stands, come on down.
Well, so back to what we were talking about before you made that super important announcement, which was, we lost our privilege to ride go-peds through the pits and have us permanently. We don't want that to happen here, right, Kurt?
Boy, absolutely not. I'm trying to remember who it was. It was a racer from Northern California.
was Mr. Goped, because
No.
I hauled 7 Gopeds down there for him.
There
It
was a rider
blast.
that after left Kokomo's and went wide open across a dark parking lot and hit one of those parking strips that he couldn't see and lost all his teeth and had to have facial reconstruction. I forget who that was. But it was just ended
absolutely brutal.
Ended his jet ski racing career, and seriously ended his involvement in anything for over a year.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. Despite money, pain, all that. All I'm saying is, hey, you know what? If you're on a motorized vehicle, a helmet is a joyous thing, even if it's a bicycle helmet.
To quote Jim Lambert, "You just saying, right?"
Just saying.
Just saying. So yeah, if you got a kid that you love a lot and they're out there playing on those GoPeds, please slap a helmet on. Talk to them about the speed limit here, okay?
No speed limit on the water today for the fastest boats on the water. I see Bill Wilson, I believe, out in front right now.
Holy moly, went a little wide on that turn.
Whoa,
Looks
hold
like he
on.
might be trying to get acclimated to that boat. Bill Wilson on a Yamaha, correct?
It surprises me. Maybe that isn't. That does not look like Bill Wilson. No, Wilson is in second. Who is it in first?
It looked like the number 7 boat of John Dewar out of Concord, California.
It's potentially, it could be John, but I thought his boat was green. It could be. It probably was. Thank you. Matt Ford throws out with the Chang Lu. Right you are, Mr. Endurance, coming over to throw a little heat on. And his wife's in there honking the horn to let us know that is Chang Lu.
Wow. Yeah, Ching, a formidable opponent in endurance racing and got into closed course racing a few years ago. Really great mechanic, super rider. And as you see him stretch his lead out on that outside split, he'll be coming through the outside split. Looks like he may be a little bit challenged with the steering, though, but he's making up for it in his horsepower. So coming across the start-finish line right now on his second lap is Ching Lu. Ching Lu hails from Fresno, California, and of course he's sponsored by our friends down there at Clausen Motorsports.
Clausen Motorsports, a big friend of Personal Watercraft, and check it out. Who is which Wilson is that out there on the 808? Well, it is Jesse Wilson. Jesse Wilson starting to move up. I'll tell you what, check out that black boat in third spot. He is throwing that big machine around, and he is all over the behind of Bill Wilson right now.
Boy, and talk about being all over the behind of somebody. I'm going to be all over the behind of our Fast Stand Pro-Am GP racers if they do not get their heinies to staging.
We can skip the first moto.
No, you know what? We won't just skip. They won't race, period. No points, nothing. You're done. You want to take a nap, that's fine, but don't do it on Jim Lambert's time. So if you are racing in the Fast Stand Pro GP class, right on. Here comes our number 1 pros, Pete Zernick, down to staging.
Thomas Pagens making it. I see Dylan Alexander, Chris Wadier, all making the move over here. All they were waiting for is a little bit of a threat.
I can hardly wait to see Wadier line up
that?
again and see what happens the second time around here.
Check it out. Here comes Wilson on the inside.
Holy moly, man.
Well, come to think of it, there's Wilson on the outside, too. No relation.
Wilson squared, right?
Jesse Wilson moved on up. He was back in 4th or 5th spot. He is in 2nd now. And Chang Lu, look out. The young man from Granite Bay is on his way. Look at this. Wilson just boiling the water out there. That machine is flying. Jesse Wilson denied in the X2 class. Having issues with that boat today. He is flying out there on the big black bomb.
Well, and I'll tell you what, he did miss a buoy there. He just missed a buoy, so it'll be interesting to see if he caught that himself. He'll need to. Our lead racer Is that Jesse Wilson? We'll see whether or not he takes that penalty buoy on the far right-hand side of the course. He's going to make a right-hand turn, and right now he's got the opportunity to take that makeup buoy, and he is going to go out at full throttle, full race speed, and pick up that black buoy. That forgives him for missing the buoy. He will not be marked down one lap.
Who's that?
That's our race leader.
Cheng
Sounds
Lu.
like Cheng Lu, yeah. See our
Check it out.
our Fast Stand Pro Am GP line filling up pretty quick. I'm looking for a total of 7 riders down there. So see Jeremy Dixon coming to the line.
I'm sorry, but you got to watch this coming directly at us in opposite directions on the split course. Jesse Wilson flying
I'll
that
tell
machine.
You what, I think Jesse's
and
going to
Cheng
pull
Lu
off
on the outside, but here comes Jesse Wilson to take the win.
Nice job.
Crazy
Boy, that
good.
was a great finish. And I got to wonder, you know, Ching's got to be thinking, I had to take that makeup buoy. Did that just cost me the race? I don't know, but he's got 2 more motos. He's got 2 more motos to change that final position. Again, as we said earlier, we're going to run through the first set of motos, and then the second set of motos are actually 3 motos. You're going to do 2 of your motos back to back. Well, Kurt, we've got our race number 8 on the line. They're getting ready to spark it up. We are looking at the Fast Stand Pro Am GP. These guys are going to excite the heck out of me before I have to get the heck out of Dodge. You're looking at Chris Wattier out there on the 18 boat out of Sacramento, California. And Chris is sponsored by Joe Gibbs, Torco Oil, and M&M Marine. Boy, listen to them go off like a, God, it sounds like a swarm of hornets.
Well, I tell you what, that looks like Pete Zernick with a drive on the inside.
Wow.
Dylan Alexander just
dragging his elbow.
Slow off the get-go. Boy, that's going to move him back to about 5th spot in a heartbeat. And on the outside, that's Chris Wattier again, I do believe. Wattier with a whole... Boy, I'm sorry. The sun is right in our eyes as it comes.
Actually Ian Roberts.
It is Ian Roberts.
Followed by, I believe, Chris Wattier. And right behind him, I'm pretty sure it's a 149 of Pete Zernick.
Yeah, Zernick, you can see that handle pole from here.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a while since I've seen Chris race. Probably 2 or 3 years, to be honest with you. And he was really good then, but man, I'll tell you what, he is stepping it up today.
Well, I'll tell you what. Chris Wattier is, I think there might be one guy that was better at log jumps than Wattier. His name was Jeff Jacobs, and I'm not kidding you. I'm going all the way back. I'm talking Max Sheldon, international riders. Chris Wattier was just, that was his thing. He was magic. He did have clinics on how to do the log jump.
Well, and I'll tell you what, there is a definite skill set to mastering the log jump. I unfortunately never did.
Yeah.
I mastered destroying the hull on my ski.
So it's Roberts and Zernick and a battle for 3rd and 4th there. Check it out. Dylan Alexander and Jeremy Dixon are going at it like crazy. There's Wattier behind them. And Thomas Pageon doing everything he can to hang on in this rough water.
So, Kurt, I only have about 30 minutes left here with you folks, and I cannot thank you all for a wonderful
All right, it's
weekend.
getting old. Whatever. So what else?
Shut up, or I'm going to
Exactly. That's what I'm
you.
saying. We got 30 minutes. Don't waste time on thank you again.
Well, I don't want to hear
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I don't want to hear you
and
get
the
all
reality,
teary-eyed at the
Lisa
last
Price,
second.
is we thank you for coming up because it's been a joy to see you. And
Now
I
get the hell
really
out of Dodge,
appreciate it
right?
having a softer voice.
Well, I'll tell
Well,
you
Jason is a little softer, but
I will,
not that soft.
anytime you guys need help up here, all you got to do is ask. If there's any way I can pull it off, it would be my pleasure.
Bring that Volkswagen, doing that I-5 thing. Well, I have been pushing Jim Lambert, and not to miss out on some exciting action here. Look at the race between third and fourth.
Oh.
Jeremy Dixon making a move. Dixon gets by, and there's Wadier right behind him. Wadier moved up. Where is Alexander?
And not giving up at all. Thomas Page and still driving hard from the back of the pack.
No doubt
tell you what.
Where did Dylan Alexander go?
I don't know.
Here I was staring into your eyes, losing myself in the depth of them.
As I strapped on
turned
my
back
hip
to the
waders.
water. Watch your feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to step in
We've
that.
got a rider that just took a giant water sample. Boy, I'll tell you what, he went down hard, but our
You seeing
Team
him?
Orange is on it. The ski has gotten away from him, but Team Orange is on it like the pros that they are. And
Hand
you'll
in the
notice
air. Rider
the riders have
okay.
slowed down. Looks like he's in good shape. They're going to get him back to his boat so we can continue to race. But boy, I'll tell you what, that was a pretty hard get off.
That was ridiculous. Let's see who that was. Looking at him side by side. Jim Lambert, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you will positioning our announcing station between
this is
the
cool.
slaloms coming at us at every race, I will have your baby because this is the best seat in the house. Riders coming at us full speed, side by side. Dixon making the turn. There's Wadier. 1 lap to go. Wadier all over the back of Jeremy Dixon. Wadier had to get off early, trying to make up for it.
You see Dixon standing up, stretching his back. These skis put these guys through their paces.
Oh, no, quite. Well, look at this.
Well, there's a ton of horsepower. I don't even know how they hold on to them in a straight line, much less just absolute wide open throttle, hard carving around these buoys.
Yeah, this is like the Mark Hahn 80. There's about 80 miles in 4
Yeah.
laps here. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Redunculous. Having said that, your leader and Moto 1 winner, Ian Roberts, followed through by Dylan Alexander. Was that Pete Zernick that took the impromptu water get off there? If it was, he made it back to third position. Wow. Excitement on the water.
You know-
Lisa Price, you were telling us how much you love being here. We were telling you how much we love having you. Thank you very much for making the trip up. It truly has been a lot of fun.
Been a blast.
And something we should continue to do. Now, my thought, and I've been pushing Mr. Lambert to try and get a race at Castaic. Because then we could get the northern, southern California.
You know, that'd be
You know,
great.
thing. It would be great.
I know it's not going to happen this season for a couple reasons because you folks that haven't promoted before probably don't know, but Jim Lambert and any promoter has to work probably 9 months to a year in advance to secure the permits and approvals and, you know, get their fees in for certain race venues. Castaic is not only very expensive, but it also was shut down to swimming last week due to the drought that we're having in Southern California. So
Oh,
you're
did
still
they?
able to do stand-up paddleboard and a little bit of
What
fishing.
drought
but
in
they'll
Southern
probably-
California? You guys got all our water.
I'll
Don't give me
tell you
that.
what, we've
You
got
guys
some-
have enough water for the next 2
We
years
still as much of
in
your water
reservoirs.
as we can, but
We're stopping that. Jim Lambert, you're official of the law. Stop them from taking our water to Southern California. I know.
well, we need it to put our fires out with, I think. But I hear
At 4 o'clock. I'm hearing you. So here it is, Lisa Price. At 4 o'clock, when you're leaving us, the band will be snapping for the 5, 6, 7 class.
I'll tell you what. I will get
regardless of
I'll
where
get
their
my
boat's
rental
on the
car,
water.
and I'll line up on the other side of the cove over there. When you
Okay.
guys snap the band, it's a rental
You'll peel out?
I will haul, you know what, out here. I'll race them all the way to the first turn buoy. How's that sound?
That sounds fantastic. Hey, you know what? While we have a little bit of quiet, for anybody that didn't hear us, maybe the guys from the ski clinic that are gone.
Boy, they loaded up and got the heck out of Dodge, didn't they?
Wow. Well, so much for that freestyle exhibition. No.
No, they were done. I did talk to you about that.
Just
but
kidding. We are looking for a bag of rice still. So if anybody has got uncooked dry rice, we'll provide the